Okay, and we're back again. So now we're going to do some three-dimensional swelling, which means we're going to pull out our friend Nose and Scar Wax. So we have our handy dandy, wicked cool metal tool that I was using to slice open the thing, and here it is. Okay, so I'm going to use this guy to scoop some out. Remember what I said about this being kind of like heat activated, so the more you mess with it, the more it's going to stick to you. Now, a good way to help avoid that is to get some petroleum jelly on your fingers ahead of time. It's not going to stick to you as much. I do not have petroleum jelly on hand, so I'm going to use this anti-aging night cream that I found in my makeup drawer, which I could probably use on my face at some point, but I'm not going to. Okay, so I've got that rubbed in, so that kind of creates a nice, hopefully, barrier. So I can work with this stuff before it gets too tacky. So I'm going to form it into a bit of a ball. Just going to roll it around like so. I actually probably want a little bit more than that. So I'm going to scoop out some more. Now, the liquid latex, which we'll get to in a bit, is reusable once you create the applique. You can powder it and save it. The Nose and Scar Wax is to a certain extent, but not quite as much. So don't get terribly attached to your Nose and Scar Wax prosthetics. Okay, so we got this guy, right? So I'm going to go ahead and do another goose egg type. Actually, no. I'm going to create a really swollen eye action happening here. Now, if you want to, you can dab a little bit of spirit gum or liquid latex onto your skin before you start applying your Nose and Scar Wax. But I don't usually have the problem of it not wanting to stick. I usually have the problem of it being way too friendly and wanting to stick everywhere. So that's a personal call. Now, one of the most difficult things when working with Nose and Scar Wax is getting the edges to blend in really nicely, because it's not going to be very effective if it's not going to be as effective if we can see clear lines, right, between your skin attached to your face and your fake skin attached to your face, if that makes sense. Okay, so now we have a deeply unfortunate swollen under eye action happening here. I'm gonna find my makeup wipe and wipe my hands off. Now, because your sculpting tool is not your warm skin, you'll find that sometimes you can, sculpt more with it. I think you can also do like a worm shape coming down through here and blend that if you don't want to do the ball and smush. Either way, it's going to give you a useful effect. Now, you can also squish this up closer to your eye if you want to. I didn't, but you can. I'm also going to show you how to totally cover up your eye and make it look swollen, which will be super fun. Okay, so we got that as our foundation, as our base, not our foundation. Now we are actually going to come in with our foundation. Now, I do not like to use my good stick for this. So I'm using this powder foundation that I absolutely despise. If you have liquid foundation is going to be your friend for most prosthetic makeup, because you can kind of just dump and blend, which is not as easy with other things. But the cream makeup in your kits is going to be great. And if you have a stick foundation, it's going to work out totally fine. Just, I would recommend kind of applying it with a brush instead of putting your stick directly onto, or makeup sponge instead of putting your stick directly onto the wax, if that makes sense. You can also use a sponge to kind of help shape, which is what I am clearly doing. And my face is super red today because I went out and enjoyed the sun, because it is finally sweater weather and I do live at the beach and the tourists are gone. So I do have some redness today. Sorry about that. Okay, I'm not entirely happy with the way this edge looks here, but I think that we can actually cover that up with our bruising when we get to it, so that's gonna be fine. Man, this looks pretty sad already, doesn't it? Okay, so we got that on. You can do a layer of set powder over this if you want to. It's actually not a bad idea to do your set powder and then go ahead and do another layer of foundation over your nose and scar wax. It's gonna probably be very helpful if you do that. So I'm gonna go ahead and do some set powder. And then I'm going to go ahead and do another layer of foundation. Okay, sad times. Okay, so we got that. Now I'm going to go ahead and reuse my dirty sponge from the last video. I will go ahead and say, typically you want to make sure you're cleaning off your tools between every step or you're going to wind up muddying your palette. But especially for trauma makeup, it is great if you've got like some weird colors hanging out in there. But then you sponge them on, you're like, whoa, I don't have pretty purple on. This is great. There are so many happy accidents that can happen with trauma makeup. So embrace the dirty applicator, but don't like actually get your applicators dirty. But you know. And I would definitely make sure that you have your reference photos handy when you are doing this work. I'm gonna pull up one of my research images real quick so we can take a look at it. I didn't save any of the, let's see. Gonna go for Google swollen eye bruise. Oh, poor kid. Okay, so we got some unfortunates right here, right? So this is kind of the look, our little dude up top here, is what we're going for a little bit with this. So, this is my sort of general base. I'm gonna go ahead and just lightly powder over this just a little bit. This is just so orange, it kills me. But that's okay, because our purple is gonna help kill that. So is our black. Okay, so now I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna use a brush. I'm gonna use this guy. And I'm gonna come in with a little bit of the black, and I'm just gonna kind of stipple him down through here. I might go ahead and get it up here as well. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and do some purple now. And I'm trying really hard to not use a lot of different applicators as I put this on for everybody's sake. Again, I do tend to like use literally anything I can get my hands on. So, but I'm trying not to because I know we all kind of have limited resources. And in the past, when I would have been there in person, I would have let you use my applicators if they've been clean, you know. But since we don't have that, I don't want to be like, oh, and I'm using this tool, which is $45. I'm wiping some of this off because I didn't like it. And I kind of regret it a little bit now that I wiped it, but we did it, so we have to live with it. Okay, and now I'm going to take my friend this brush, and I'm actually going to use some of the brown in here. And I am using a different brush because I need a lining brush for this. I can't just use big brushes. Gotta be able to get some fine detail work in here. Mixing a bit of black with my brown. Do a little bit more black on the crease up here. Now the thing with doing a swollen eye like this is that my eye would probably not be that swollen if I could still open it, right? So this is probably more of a closed eye situation we're working with here. So if I were you, I would make sure that you take a photo of you with your eye open and with your eye closed. Okay, so there we have a sad eye. Still a sad eye. But, so there's that guy. So I'm going to take this off and come back again to do the actually covering over the eye one, because I can't do that while my eye is also still a little bit weird with this guy. So I'll be back again.